What up, YouTube? Welcome back to Zavendetta TV. But today I'm gonna get off the president. Not that I had anything against him in the first place, but I felt like it was something that was valid, or something that needed to be talked about. And for the most part, I won't say that it's received a chilling response as far as like people that's actually watching the video, but I understand that this channel has not been dead. I didn't really put too much focus into it anymore outside of when I was doing reactions and other things of that nature, but I wanted to get back in the swing of it because the channel was originally created to talk politics and things that were current events and things of that nature. But it's a subject that I've been trying to avoid for the longest time because I've been seeing this stupid trend on TikTok, as well as far as I know, it was only on TikTok, but now I'm seeing it starting to hit the front page as far as it's been brought to the forefront. And I try to avoid speaking on it just if simply for the fact which all the stuff that's taking place right now just felt like it was a waste of time to even get into. But now that it's starting to affect me in some way, shape, or form, it's simply for the fact the whole thing with Black America versus those who would call themselves African Americans, which at one time I thought African Americans were those that resided in North America, as far as like in the United States, and consider themselves of African descent. But seeing that there's been so much discord amongst the diaspora, I'm starting to see why they split. But I never really paid it too much attention, because at the end of the day, it really comes down to who you agree with, as far as like who you I won't say function with, but who you identify with. So that's how I've always seen it. So I tended at one time to stay away from these subjects because it made absolutely no sense. But now I see everybody is at each other's throats, and doing my little research, I see why it is the way it is. And I'm going to speak from different points of views, hopefully, if I don't get distracted. But the whole reason why a lot of Black Americans don't associate themselves with Africans or those of the other side of the diaspora is because they say a lot of them tend to come to this country and turn their nose down at Black Americans and kind of downplay the stuff and the things that we've did in this country as a people, which I found ludicrous a long time ago, because without the civil rights and the movement and the Black movement and all these different things that had to be set in place, and bodies being literally thrown to the fray in order to get these certain laws passed, nobody of the diaspora would be coming to this country. I mean, outside of this side would be coming to this country because they didn't want you here. And because of the weight that was placed on the back of Black Americans, you're being allowed to partake in a lot of different things that you normally would have. The thing is, I see a lot of them, and like I said, I tend to stay away from these subjects because to be honest, I thought it was a waste of time. There's no need for any of us to be arguing amongst each other, especially seeing what's taking place in America at this time with the mass deportations of those who they consider immigrants. And so that's a whole different war within itself that most Black Americans are not taking part in. Some are, some aren't. And it's a choice because certain things have taken place amongst certain communities that ostracize the Black Americans, so they chose to forego that situation at this time. But that's not even what I want to talk about. But it does have something to do with those they will call immigrants, and the people that coming from Africa and other countries of the diaspora are in fact immigrants, but they know that. And there was never no problem with that. It's just always the ones that tend to turn their nose down us that people are starting to call out the most. At one time, I heard somebody mention something that Black Americans have no identity because we choose to claim a lot of different things, from indigenous Indians, which they've did long strides in order to prove that. They just did the whole Muskegee or Indians and found out exactly who they were and the bloodline that ran through there. So now that's a major thing in the courts, which would afford them certain laws that would be only for the Native Americans. But that's not for everybody. But that's a major victory for the people that want to pursue that route. Now, not only are people disenfranchised with Africans, a lot of people say it's not even a lot of people. Some people say it's unwarranted because we're all the same skin complexion, but the mind and thought patterns are a lot different. Like I've watched multiple videos of people on that side of the diaspora being disrespectful towards Black Americans, not only downplaying our contribution to the race, but just assuming that we're all criminals and that we've never really did nothing big to be warranted as an achievement. But when you go down all, and I would say this, once you go down and look at all like the inventions and stuff that's been made by Black Americans, not anybody but Black Americans period, you'll see that there's a lot of achievement, a lot of things we did in order to further the cause and better the race. It doesn't mean that things were did perfect, but there's too many achievements and too many groundbreaking things that have taken place for Black Americans to be put on a lower pedestal, especially to put an African above a Black American, because the simple fact that we descended from them. But now, that's no problem. Like, I get it. People want to be separate. That's cool. Africans have been saying for the longest time that they never considered Black Americans to be African. Some have outright called us cotton pickers. Some say that we deserve to be on the plantation, that the only reason we came to this side of the continent is because we were the weaker part. We were the weaker genes in Africa, so that's why we were sold into slavery, not because you wanted spices and wanted things that you didn't readily have available and thought that, you know, give away a few people doesn't mean nothing. Now, and it's not to blame everybody, but before people come for Black Americans, they need to come for their own. Because if you watch multiple videos from Senegal to Morocco, from Morocco to Egypt, from Egypt to Nigeria, from Nigeria to Ghana, from Ghana to, man, we can go on and on, Kenya, and all the same sentiments. You have one or two that actually give Black Americans their credit, but the rest are being disrespectful. They feel like they're a lot more educated than those of us over here. They feel like we don't necessarily belong in the diaspora because we don't all associate with Africans. And like I said, that's for reasons. The blatant disrespect. I've seen people go out of their way to say that that we belong on the plantations, that Ghana had a hand in slavery, and to this day they just elected an African chief, which was a straight Caucasian, which I don't know their laws. I don't know anything about that, so I don't really want to speak on it. But so when I did address a person from Ghana, the first thing is, well, you don't have to come to Ghana. We don't need you here anyway. So when Black American women go over there and they're enjoying their people and they're trying to be one with the people over there, since we were asked to come over there, the first thing, oh, you're ghetto, you're loud, you do this, you do that, you're not integrating in our people, you're not assimilating. It's hard to assimilate to something that you look at that looks like exactly like you. We are all different in our own ways. We don't know how to adhere to certain rules. We don't adhere to certain things. You cannot uplift a culture and be a part of a culture that don't want to teach you what the culture is. A lot of people don't have the patience to really go to delve deep into showing us and showing people of our skin complexion and on this side of the diaspora what exactly their ancestors did and eat, righteously eat. The only thing, like, and this is the one thing about white supremacy that these people fail to realize, they use a lot of you do to come here and speak a certain way about Black Americans in order to keep putting us down. Like, for some reason you feel as if just because you're from a whole different part of the diaspora that you're somehow better than us, but you're not. And these people are constantly reminding you, due to the fact, I mean, not even due to the fact, but you're seeing this in the deportation of Africans and blocking of African countries. They don't want you here no more than they want us here. The only difference is we've been here so long that they just can't get rid of us. There's nowhere for Black Americans to go. We can't go to Africa because there's really no love over there. Yeah, you have people that are like with the whole kumbaya, but that's a lie. Diaspora wars is not even a thing. It's just black Americans no longer want to associate themselves with people that don't really like them in the first place. I've, in my lifetime, have had multiple run-ins with different people from Africa. I had dudes from Kenya, a few of them thought they were and thought that when you did call them black, they got so upset about it. I'm just going by American standards. If you have this complexion, they consider you that. So calling somebody black means absolutely nothing to us. Now, that's another funny thing, because people get mad about the separation when they hear you're not one of us, but they get mad when you call them one. It's so much, you know. And here's just something to put it straight, because I don't want to make this video too long. The whole reason black Americans are mad, not even mad, the whole reason black Americans don't really want to associate themselves with Africans is just for that simple fact that a lot of you just are mean. You're disrespectful, and you feel like you're above us, which I would beg to differ. Like, if we were to compare millionaires, in that department, we would kill you. In America. I'm not saying nothing about Africa, the gold mines and all the resources. I heard another guy say that, don't claim our resources, but they can't be your resources when they're being taken by a whole nother race and sold for cheap. Nobody's going to go against it because you don't own your resources. That's been proven. And a lot of us have went over there and tried to help you break that. And you still want to deal with it. You talk about black Americans, but the Chinese are whooping your ass in the street and you're doing absolutely nothing about it. But I digress. It's not even about that, because the whole thing is not to disrespect Africans. It's just to let you know why a lot of black Americans don't want to deal with you. Now, as far as like boycotting, I don't really care about boycotting, because I don't really go in African business anyway. Ain't too many where I'm at. I've been in one African restaurant my whole life. I go to Jamaican restaurants because a lot of Jamaicans have shown real solidarity. Some don't like us, but a lot of them have shown real solidarity. So I go in there to support their business. I support a lot of Mexican business because, well, that's a whole nother story entirely. Salvadoran businesses, South American business, but you know, people of South America. I haven't had Brazilian yet. But you see what I'm saying? It's like the people that show love is the ones that I support. When people be disrespectful towards it, I don't go in their businesses. I don't care how long I've known them. If they get this, I don't deal with them. It's no need for me to take my money and spend in your store. It's no need for me to go to a major store when there's other little stores that have they have the stuff that I need. I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I don't do the whole boycotting. I don't even waste my time. Just don't deal with your spots, period, because there's really no need for me. As you can see, I don't need no hair care. I don't need no skin care. I'm fine with just Dial soap, or you know, I don't. So that's why I ain't even, the boycotting means absolutely nothing to me. But all I'm saying like this, for the people that's up in arms, because I'm gonna say this before I go, you have multiple sides in this fight. You have a lot of Africans, majority of the Africans from Egypt all the way down, talking mess about black Americans and how we were slave descendants and we deserve to be that and we're the weaker species or whatever. That's been refuted. I mean, sports and everything, they said we just know how to dance, but yet for some reason we dancing good in sports. We good in a lot of things. We build different, but I'm not going to get on that. But so all that disrespect, and we deserve to be back on the plantations, and some of them supposedly actually had money in plantations. The disrespect is real, so don't be surprised when people treat you the same. It's not just one or two of them. It's the vast majority of them don't like us, don't believe that we have any right to even call ourselves African, so they don't, and we don't. The same way they don't. Only some of them consider themselves black American, which for the most part they're not. They're African American. But I digress, because that argument is just like, it don't make no sense to me. All same skin complexion, but if you want to have these wars, fine. Now we have all that. We have some black Americans that side with them and say that anybody that goes against them is stupid, which anybody that's from over here going against your own is stupid. But it is what it is. I've been called that many times and been guilty of it many times, but it was in a different way. Now, like I said before I get stuck, people just want to be left alone. People don't care if you like us. People don't care if you want to deal with us. People don't really give no what you say. But if you disrespect, don't be surprised when they come at you. That's what it is. It's no more allowing you to say your little. People are outright confronting you, and it's simply for the amount of people that are Black Americans over here. You cannot go against it. You don't have enough solidarity in order to go against that. Now, this ain't about FBA and all that. I don't do that. But my people are here. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different story. Anyways, I got caught up doing something else. Dealing with my kid. I got thrown off my train of thought. But like I'm saying, diaspora wars, stupid. Don't like us, don't deal with us. But don't be kissing ass later when you fail at what you're trying to do. And remember, put some respect on it, because without us, you wouldn't have been here. You wouldn't have had it going for you. And we've seen what that side of the continent look like. Only certain countries are developed. The rest are deserts and wastelands. That's all I'm going to say on that. With that being said, Zavendetta TV. Be back to you in another video. Bye.